At this point, Sarah, who is your MVP?
My MVP has got to be Patrick Kane. I mean, this guy has just lit up the league so far this season. He has 15 more points than than number 2, and 20 more points than number 3. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's a little bit of an open shut case for, and he's doing this on a team that has Jonathan Taves and Marian Hossa. Like, these are very big stars, and that he's making such a name for himself and coming out day in and day out, and that point streak in the beginning of the season. I mean, it's really hard to argue about that just on the on-ice product.
You know, how are fans viewing Patrick Kane now at the midway point? Obviously, a summer that he was investigated, the charges were dropped, but this is not an easy situation. How do you think the fans are looking at Kane?
Yeah, you know, I think that most of the fans are trying to look at it from a hockey perspective. And on the ice, there's really, you really can't question. As for the stuff that's gone on off the ice, I mean, no one really knows anything. Other than the fact that the DA decided to drop the case and that there was no case for him to prosecute and charges were never filed. So, I mean, it kind of is going to have to be on a personal basis whether or not you want to bring in some of the other stuff into your evaluation of Patrick Kane as a human being. But Patrick Kane as a hockey player, there's no question.
What about a player who you're surprised is not in the MVP conversation at this point?
You know, at the quarter pole mark, I definitely would have said Sidney Crosby, because this guy, he didn't score an even strength goal for more than a month into the season. But at this point, I think looking at the league as it stands, I would probably look at Steven Stamkos, who, you know, took his Lightning all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and now is somewhere middle of the pack for an elite player. Is not really coming in and day out. I mean, it's a function of the team not being quite as good and the team having to deal with a lot of injuries, and so people can key in on Steven Stamkos now. But I would say that, you know, he could see a breakout a little bit more, or he could be traded.